Alright guys, what's going on? We're back for another video, and we got the Mustang in the background, the Vet here, and this is going to be part 2 of the turbo install. Really day 1 of actually taking some parts off the Mustang and really beginning the whole process, so we're pretty excited. We just rolled up to the garage here. We're going to back the Vet out, pull the Mustang in. We'll give you guys one last cold start, or warm start of a naturally aspirated 2-valve that's cammed, so I'm gonna miss that sound, man, but the turbo is gonna be something else, so I'm definitely pumped for it. Pretty much gonna clear out like a lot of this stuff up front, just so we have a lot of room to work with, and probably buy a shelf maybe tonight or Friday night when we come back, and clear out over here, because we're gonna need as much room as possible. There's a lot of moving parts here. We're gonna have to pull the bumper off, the headers, etc., the subframe, so the list goes on, but without further ado, let's pull this thing out and let's just get started.
Alright, so as you guys saw by that time lapse, we pretty much cleaned up as much as we can. Cleaned out this area here. We're thinking about getting a shelf or some kind of table just to put all the parts, because we're going to be removing pretty much, you know, a lot of the front end, you know, suspension, so on and so forth. So we want to just have it easily accessible to put all the old parts here, maybe put the new parts there as well, and just have some nice storage. We're going to pull the Mustang in now. Probably put it up on jack stands, take the front bumper off, and kind of just see where this goes, and let's do it. Alright, it's time to get rid of that dull light. We got this trifecta thing over here. It's LEDs. It's just gonna replace that. This thing's gonna be nuts. We're gonna see for days, man.
Yeah, I almost blinded myself getting it out.
This is a trifecta of light. So what's gonna go up this ladder? It's a freaking huge ladder.
Ratchet, barely touching.
Don't touch the Stang, but we're gonna go up there, change the sound, put this bad boy in, and there's gonna be some light. So let's do it.
Got my ladder safety, buddy. Maybe I should just follow my hood, so I need a new one.
That might hurt.
Alright, out with the old and with the new.
The spaceship.
Oh, God.
Oh, my bad.
No, I've blinded you 3 million times. So.
That's true.
Payback.
You sure you're not the right way? Yeah, you weren't.
Wait, like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't move.
I'm not looking at it though.
Don't move.
Whew, here goes nothing.
Oh, wow.
Is it good?
That's phenomenal.
Whoa, dude. Woo, we got light up in here. Check that out.
My face. The little things, you know, that excites us.
Yep.
Now, the big things.
Yeah. Without further ado, let's pop this bumper off.
Yeah. bumpers off, headlights are out. Now it's time to jack it up, put it on stands, get these wheels off. As you can see, we're kind of just finding spots to put the parts. The headlights are there, the bumper's over there, the hood's over there. So
it's gonna get crowded.
but before we wrap it up for the night, it's just getting late, we're just gonna jack it up. So let's do that now.
So guys, as you can tell, we got the front bumper off. We popped the hood off just for easier access, good lighting. We got both wheels off for the front, so we have easy access up front. And our next step tomorrow is gonna do our best to get the whole subframe dropped with all the front suspension, and then so we can access those headers, the long tube headers, so we can get those off. And then once that's all off, it's pretty much ready to bolt on the new UPR K-member, the tubular K-member, and then the A-arms and the coilovers, and just keep going from there. But this was a good start tonight, and we're just going in baby steps, trying to get this process rolling. It's going to get cold pretty quick, and we want to have this thing for boost season and get it tuned and everything before November. So that's our goal. But yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
Day 2.
Alright guys, so we're back. As you can see, we got a new addition. This is our latest purchase. It's nice that we got everything laid out for the turbo kit. It's just going to make it a lot more easy. And then over here, we got our engine, which is a support bar, so a transverse bar. But we're pretty much just going to dive right into this removal, right where we left off. We're going to head onto there and start dropping some bolts, getting the K-member out of the way, and just keep grinding. So let's do that now. Alright, so we got the passenger side strut here. We are going to reuse the Eibach Pro dampener strut. This is fairly new. We installed it a while back with our lowering springs. We ended up doing the passenger side only off camera because of the tight quarters. We'll end up filming the driver's side. This is the UPR coilover system. You will need coilovers with the tubular K-member, so it just makes it easier to do so. So we're going to pretty much take this sleeve and put that over that. Then we got our little lock collar here. I am going to put some anti-seize on it. I do give a warning to put anti-seize on it or it will void the warranty. So we want to take safe measures. This is always good to put some anti-seize in there, especially because this is going to be rotational. Do a little dab will do it, if I can get it off. And once you put that on, it should thread itself around. I hate anti-seize for that reason, that reason only. We'll probably just do middle of the road just to get a baseline, but once it's on the car and everything's set up, we'll adjust this accordingly. Looks like a smiley face. The only thing I'm a little upset about is I didn't give a spanner wrench. I don't know if you have to pay additional money for that. I figured it would come with it. So we're going to put our spring on right now. We're going to set that up here. We'll put our bump stop back in so we get some noise dampener, and just make sure we get that back in there. Alright, so now we're going to put these little caps on here. They're classified as the dust cover, and we put this little guy on top there. So we got to raise the coilover up a little bit because it's supposed to sit flush like that. So we got to raise this up. And then we are going to put this into our caster camber plate, which we left on the car. I'm probably going to need alignment, but we'll try and keep it as aligned as possible. So we're going to put our little spacers there, and then the nut on top once we put it through the caster camber. That's pretty much going to conclude the coilover setup. There's really not much to it. I suggest having new struts if you don't have them like recently installed. It's just nice to have peace of mind while you're down there getting new ones. They're not that expensive. We're not going to install that yet, obviously, because we have to install a K-member. But we're going to start taking down this side and hopefully, drop that K-member soon so we get those headers and get them out of the way. Yeah, so let's get this driver's side off and we'll start moving along. as you can see, we got the engine support bar. We just got it wrapped around. Unfortunately, there's no really engine lift points from this, so you kind of got to makeshift it. But we got a fair amount of tension. Once we release the subframe, it will really put some tension on it. But this is all sturdy, ready to go. We got the steering rack out of the way. We're just setting that on the ground. Now we're just going to unbolt the motor mounts, and then I think there's a few bolts that are holding the subframe in on this side and then 2 on that side. And I think it will be ready to drop. So we're going to want to probably drill into the oil pan or weld into the oil pan the return line and everything. So we'll probably do that in another video, but we'll probably get the subframe out of the way, see what we're working with, and call it a video here. So that's going to wrap up this video. It is getting late. We got the subframe completely out, the K-member subframe, whatever you want to call it. Engine's being supported by the engine bar. We did a lot. Honestly, it might not look like it on camera, but it was a lot of work. We're going to end it here. The next video will probably be, because we are having an oil leak around the oil pan, so we're going to have to probably reseal with a new gasket. We're going to take it off regardless and drill into it on the shelf. It's a lot easier to go in straight there than on the car. So I mean, we got our hands full in the next video. We'll kind of just go from there, but yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this one. Stay tuned for the journey and make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.